Hello everyone, welcome back here in Destiny 2 again. Today I'm just going to be showing off these pyramids. Really not much else going on, so you are warned now. It's just going to be looking at these dang old pyramids. Yeah, this is actually a very cool thing, I will say. The last season it had some cool ideas with the war mind and all the bunkers and the dialogue that most of it I forgot, honestly. But for the most part it was pretty cool how Zavala's coming around with the war mind and actually starting to trust him now. And then obviously the Almighty getting shot out of the sky. It's very cool, only in a time lapse. I did not see it happening, because I actually got bored with that season halfway through. But yeah, this new season, I tested it out first before I bought the season pass, because I use Microsoft Rewards now anyway, so I don't really pay for these season passes. I just kind of use the reward points to buy the season passes. But either way, it's still $10 whether I pay for it myself or not. So I wanted to test it out first, and I did the first couple quests, and I was like, you know what? I like it. This one's pretty cool. But yeah, these new pyramid ships moving in was a very cool thing they added. I don't know what they're doing down there. I think that's the tree, I'm pretty sure. You know what? I never actually thought about that until just now. I guess that's what's been down in that pit this whole time. But yeah, anyway, very cool idea with these pyramids coming in, and I thought what they were going to do was steadily climb as the season went on and just have like one planet at a time. And then I checked the navigation when the new reset came around, and then you see, wha-bam, just 4 pyramids in the sky. And the funny thing was, when I first saw this screen, I was like, oh, well, that's spooky. It actually did work. It was very effective. Just seeing those 4 pyramids moving in that quickly, I was like, okay, that's actually kind of scary. But yeah, this was obviously the original pyramid, which already was pretty cool. And I think there's new effects going on here. There's some, like, blue going around it. Yeah, I don't believe them. They say they're here for non-hostile reasons, but pretty sure they are. And I think these ships are also new as well. As you can see, there's some darkness ships flying around. You can shoot at them, and they don't care. They've got other things to do. What those things are, we do not know just yet. But yeah, I'll show off the other pyramids as well. I'll start with the most disappointing one on Titan, because you can barely see it, which is why I put on Whisper of the Worm so you can zoom in. Which I finally got, by the way. Oh, I need to turn in that. Okay, well, 2 birds with 1 stone. I didn't know I finished that over here. I guess I did. Yeah, when you land here the first time and look around, you think, huh, well, it says there's a ship here, but clearly there's no ship. You start looking around, maybe it's that? That's definitely not it. Looking over here, looking all around. You're thinking maybe, oh, the building's blocking it, right? You come over here and you're like, nope, that's the contact ship. And then you look way in the distance, and there it is. There it is, way off in the distance. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a new place that you can stand to where you can get a better look at it, but it should be close enough to the patrol zone where you can see it when you land. That's the whole point of these things, where you're supposed to land and look at it and go, oh, that's scary. It doesn't exactly work when you're having to look off into the distance and be like, yeah, I guess that's scary. I guess all the way out in the solar system, that's kind of scary over there. It's not very imposing when it's a mile away. And also, I might as well just do this while I'm here. I guess this is what I'm doing now. Use this as an opportunity to use some Whispering Worm. Yeah, this actually wasn't too bad. I think it took me 1 try with a fire team of 3. It was not like Outbreak Perfected, where that thing took me like 10 tries. And it wasn't so much on my part. After like maybe the 2nd or 3rd run, I had the whole jumping puzzles and all the sections down. It was just finding people that weren't absolutely terrible. That was the difficult part. You know what? This might still take some time, so I'm just going to run. I'm just going to try to get a better vantage point. Oh, no. They are really laying into me here. Actually, can I make this jump? I've never tried doing this. Oh, nope. The game won't let me. Which doesn't make any sense, because you can actually walk through that. They should just let you jump across. Well, looks like I'm on the heroic point. You know what? Might as well. I'm already here. Might as well. Oh, I also already have gotten all of the Savathun's eyes laying around that you need the Runius effigy to be able to knock down. Kind of tedious, but not incredibly bad. I only got 45 of them, so there's still the 5 in the dungeon that I haven't done yet, which I might try to do solo, because I've heard you can solo those dungeons. I know the Shattered Throne I soloed all the way up to the Vorgeth checkpoint, and then I kind of gave up after that because it was very difficult. And I am out of ammo with this thing. That's no good. Yeah, this grenade launcher here, when you have the concussion blast on it, very good. I actually had spike grenades for the longest time because they do direct damage, Whereas this one, it still does direct damage, but not as high. And it also has the benefit of the concussion effect, which I actually didn't realize that even the enemies that are immune to damage, they still get hit by the effect. So, like, let's say on the Thorn mission, where you're in Savathun's song, where you're having to get past that part where you slam the arc down. It's like the arc ball or arc bolt or void light. Some kind of void something that you slam into the ground. But yeah, anyway, you're running past that, and there's these two... What are they, the eyes that are firing at you? I can't remember what those things are called, actually. It's the two big purple things that fire beams constantly. But yeah, you have those. I guess you could see it a little bit better from here. But yeah, see what I mean? It's just like, it's not... It's really not super visible. It's just kind of off into the distance. It's like, yeah, I mean, way over there. Yeah, it's kind of scary. It's just, you're like, wait, is that a ship? Oh yeah, I guess that is a ship. It's not really... I mean, if it gets closer, I will eat my words. Like, if it starts walking over here, then maybe it'll be a little scarier. But just as it sits off in the distance, not really that intimidating. I guess when the fog leaves it, it looks a little more intimidating, but still, it's a little too far away. Yeah, as I was saying with the grenade launcher, you can actually use it to stun enemies that normally you can't damage. So like those ones that keep firing at you, if you stun them, they can't fire at you. And even though you can't damage them, you can still concuss them. So really all you just need to do if you want to solo that is you just concuss one of them and then run in, and the other one, damage-wise, probably won't be able to kill you, especially if you're using Warlock or a Titan and have an overshield on. So yeah, it makes it a little bit easier. And I don't know how effective it is in the Crucible, but some guy actually did message me when I killed him with it, and he was like, hey, you like that gun? I was like, yeah, it's actually pretty good. So I guess it does have some uses in the Crucible as well. Especially now with a quest being that I need to use grenade launchers in the Crucible, which I don't like doing in the first place. So that's going to be very annoying. But with momentum, it does make it a little bit easier. And now I will move on to Mars, which is another one that's kind of like, it's there, I guess. And here we are on Mars. I'm going to kill some Thrall real quick. Oh, joined a public event. Yeah, see, I finally have the Outbreak perfected. Is there a reason why I'm showing it? Not really. I just kind of want to show it. I put in a lot of work for this damn gun. I want to get some use out of it. Yeah, I've actually been using this a lot in the Crucible because there's a... I think it's... No, it's not Remembrance. It's the Forging the Broadsword, where you have to get pulse rifle kills. And normally, I don't like pulse rifles, but this one is incredibly good in the Crucible. Yeah, as you can see, in the sky you have another pyramid. This one is not as far back as Titan, but it also is kind of just like there. it's you know, it's behind these Rasputin guns, so it's like, yeah, it's a little obstructed. It's kind of cool though. Although it is menacingly close to Rasputin, which is kind of cool. But yeah, it's another one of those ones where it's just kind of like, yeah, it's kind of just off in the distance. I mean, I don't know what better positioning. Like, the one on Io and the one on Mercury are just right in your face. This is another one where it's just kind of like, yeah, it's there. Again, not as far back as Titan, but still not incredibly menacing. It is still cool. I will give it that. It is very cool seeing these things just slowly encroach in. And I hope they do another big thing, like with the Almighty being shot out of the sky. Maybe you'll have, like, one of these pyramid ships land over the Traveler or something like that. So they do need another big thing to happen. And not so much like the Almighty one, because that one was shot down. Granted, it's still behind the tower, which is cool. But I mean another thing like Gaul, where something just does like a direct assault on the Traveler or something like that. Or maybe the Traveler, having woken up like 3 years ago, maybe it can actually do something now. It's still just, it sat there while the Almighty almost crashed into the last city. It's like, wow, you're very helpful, aren't you? So they made a whole big point about the Traveler waking up at the end of the Destiny 2 campaign. And yeah, he hasn't really done much. And the Speaker's gone too. I don't think he's dead. I think he's just like exiled, where he went into self-exile because he was a fraud and he never actually spoke to the Traveler to begin with. But yeah, there it is. There's the Mars one. And now we'll move on to my favorite one, which is the one on Mercury. And you'll see why the moment I land. Alright, here we go. Breaking into the surface. Yeah, see, it would have been nice to see them in this screen as well, just off on the front. Another minor complaint. But yeah, tell me if you notice anything different. Not only do you land staring straight at it, but look how just imposing this thing looks. And not only that, but it's blocking out the sun too, which is a nice little addition. Very cool metaphor as well. And you can see even the sun, the rays are bouncing off of it. So very cool effect, but also this gives you the same feel as the one on Io, where it's just kind of like, it's just imposing, where you land in the patrol zone here, and you're just like, oh my god, look at this. Yeah, it actually caught me off guard the first time I landed here. I looked up and I was like, oh my god. And it's actually cool when you go into the lighthouse here, getting stuck on that barrel. Yeah, see, when you go into the lighthouse, normally you have the sun in the background, but now you just see black. It's just the pyramid blotting it out. So yeah, this is another cool example of the pyramid coming in. And I know the obvious thing that's going to happen is that there's going to be pyramids all over the system until it finally gets to Earth. So I'm wondering what the next few are going to look like. Hopefully they do another one for shock value and just have, like, maybe the moon have, like, 10 of these things. Just because it's right there next to Earth. So that'd be a cool way to make it very threatening, is just have 10 massive pyramids there. Because they are moving in. And what's very cool about them is they're pretty much, I don't know what the size of these things are, but they look about traveler-sized. They are massive. So just the fact that there's already 4 of them flying around, and then there's one sitting in the moon. So we'll see what that one does. That's probably what the last one's going to be, is the one in the moon's going to rise out of the ground with a whole fleet behind it. And actually, I think this is how they're going to work in the content vaulting, because what they mentioned is that they're going to start putting things in the vault, which I think was... Which ones were they? I think it was Nessus, Io, Mars, and Mercury. And I'm pretty sure that's it. I think that's all the guns. All the guns. I said that as I was switching. But I think that's all of the ones that are going to be vaulted for now. So we'll see. And then, of course, anything having to do with those locations are gone as well. So the Leviathan's going to be going into the vault. Any Crucible maps, any of the strikes that are involved on this planet are gone. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. And one thing that is cool is that they're bringing back Destiny 1 content. So you'll have things like the Vault of Glass coming out in, what was it, September, I think? Whenever the season ends is when the vaulting is going to start. So that means that not only is the Cosmodrome coming back from Destiny 1, but also the Vault of Glass is coming back as well. Which hopefully means that they're going to be adding Venus, too. Because it is kind of strange that they're going to bring back the Vault of Glass, but not the planet it takes place on. That would be kind of strange. But yeah, it is kind of true what they were saying, how it's taking up a lot of development time, where pushing out an update is far bigger than it needs to be because of how much content there is. And if you look at the download size, it's over 100 gigabytes now. So I'm sure they're trying to take the opposite approach of what Call of Duty is doing, where I don't even know what Warzone is anymore. I'm getting very close to uninstalling it. It is encroaching on 200 gigabytes, which is just absurd at this point. It definitely does not need that much space. But yeah, I do like that idea where they're basically going to have a tighter focus on the game. And they said anything having to do with those locations, like exotic weapons or different things that you would need to go to that location for, you're going to have a way to do that. So I don't know if that means that Whisper of the Worm is about to become easier to collect or harder, if they add a new way to obtain it. Which would be kind of annoying if I went through all that trouble to get Whisper of the Worm, and then they add it in like a quest where it's like, yeah, get like 100 sniper kills, and you unlock it. But I mean, either way, I'll have it for 3 months anyway, so if the quest does make it easier, then oh well. But yeah, so that's basically it, just showing off the pyramids here, and then some random locations in between. But yeah, I'll probably be back with some more videos. I don't know what exactly to show off. Maybe I'll show off one of the A Means to an End missions. Drop a Nova Bomb there. Maybe do a strike or so, probably a dungeon. A lot of those are very time-consuming, so it's it's not very intuitive to make a video about it. It'll take up like 12 gigabytes on my hard drive. So yeah, pretty much things that I can show in a relatively short amount of time like this. Yeah, whatever that'll be, I have no idea, but I'll be back with one of those. There's still some Smash videos I need to do as well, so stay tuned for one of those. I'm not exactly sure which.